You keep your money in a checking account at Chase or Bank of America. You're earning 0.01% interest. Maybe you have a savings account earning 0.5% if you're lucky. Meanwhile, the guy who owns the company you work for, he keeps his money in accounts earning 8 to 12% annually. He uses private banks that require $5 million minimums. He has family offices managing his wealth. He borrows against his assets instead of selling them. He pays almost no taxes because he never actually realizes income. You're playing checkers with a piggy bank. He's playing chess with a team of wealth advisors. And here's the thing. You think this is just how money works. You think banks are where everyone keeps their money. But that's only true for poor and middle-class people. The wealthy use completely different financial tools. They play by different rules. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what they do and how you can start implementing these strategies even if you're not a millionaire yet. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wealth Context. If you're new here, this is where we reveal the real story behind money and power, the strategies the wealthy use that nobody teaches you. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. This information could literally change how you handle money forever. All right, let's talk about why rich people don't use regular banks and what they do instead. The checking account scam. Let's start with the most obvious one, checking accounts. You probably have your paycheck direct deposited into a checking account. You use it to pay bills, buy groceries, whatever. And it just sits there, earning nothing. Actually, worse than nothing. You're losing money to inflation. If you have $10,000 in a checking account earning 0.01% interest, you're making $1 per year. Meanwhile, inflation is running at 3 to 4% annually. So that $10,000 is losing $300 to $400 in purchasing power every year. You're literally paying to keep your money in the bank. Now, the wealthy? They don't do this. Their checking account is a high-yield savings account earning 4 to 5%, or it's a money market account, or it's a brokerage account with instant liquidity. They're not losing money to inflation. They're making money on every dollar, even the cash they need for daily expenses. And here's the kicker. These accounts are available to you, too. You don't need to be a millionaire to open a high-yield savings account at 4.5%. You just need to know it exists. But regular banks don't advertise this, because they make more money when your cash sits in a 0.01% checking account. Private banks, the millionaire's bank. Now let's talk about where the truly wealthy actually keep their money. Private banks. These aren't your local Chase or Wells Fargo branch. These are institutions like J.P. Morgan Private Bank, Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management, UBS, Credit Suisse. The minimum to open an account? Usually $5 million, sometimes $10 million. Why? Because at that level, the bank can make serious money on your deposits and investments. So they offer you a dedicated relationship manager, your personal banker, wealth management services, investment strategy, estate planning assistance, tax optimization strategies, access to exclusive investment opportunities, private equity, hedge funds, concierge services, literally someone who handles your life. You're not just a customer. You're a high-value client they want to keep. And here's what's crazy. They'll offer you loans at 2 to 3% interest secured by your investments. So if you need $500,000 for something, you don't sell your stocks and pay capital gains tax. You borrow against them at a low rate, and your investments keep growing. This is how the wealthy operate. They never sell. They just borrow. The buy, borrow, die strategy. Speaking of borrowing, let me explain the strategy that keeps generational wealth intact. Buy, borrow, die. Here's how it works. Step 1. Buy assets. The wealthy buy stocks, real estate, businesses, anything that appreciates over time. Step 2. Borrow against those assets. Instead of selling and paying capital gains tax, they take out loans using their assets as collateral. These loans are tax-free because borrowed money isn't income. Let's say you own $10 million in stocks. You need $1 million for a house, a business investment, whatever. You don't sell $1 million in stocks, which would trigger $200,000 plus in capital gains taxes. You borrow $1 million at 3% interest using your stocks as collateral. Your stocks continue growing at 8 to 10% per year. You're paying 3% interest, but earning 8% growth. You're still making 5% on that money while using it. Step 3. Die. Here's where it gets wild. When you die, your heirs inherit your assets with a step-up in basis. That means the IRS resets the cost basis to the current market value. So if you bought $1 million in stock that's now worth $10 million, your heirs inherit it as if they bought it at $10 million. The $9 million in gains? Never taxed. Ever. Meanwhile, they use the inheritance to pay off the loans you took out. No taxes paid. Wealth transferred. This is how billionaire families stay billionaires for generations. They never sell. They just borrow, grow, and die. Family offices, the ultra-wealthy's secret. Now let's go even higher. Once you get to $50 million, $100 million, $500 million in net worth, you don't even use private banks anymore. You create a family office. A family office is basically your own private wealth management company. You hire CFOs to manage your money, investment managers to grow your wealth, tax strategists to minimize taxes, estate planning attorneys, accountants, sometimes even lifestyle managers. It's an entire company dedicated to managing and growing your wealth. And at this level, you're doing things regular people don't even know exist. Investing in private equity deals not available to the public, buying businesses outright, setting up trust structures in favorable jurisdictions, using offshore accounts legally for tax optimization, creating charitable foundations that also benefit your family, structuring everything to minimize estate taxes. This is the realm of the ultra-wealthy. And unless you're in this world, you don't even know this world exists. Trust structures, protecting wealth forever. Let's talk about trusts, because this is a tool the wealthy use that regular people either don't understand or don't think applies to them. A trust is a legal structure that holds assets for beneficiaries, and the wealthy use them for everything. Irrevocable life insurance trusts, ILITs. Life insurance policies held in trust. The death benefit isn't counted in your estate, avoiding estate taxes. Dynasty trusts. Trusts that last for generations. You put assets in, they grow tax-free, and your great-great-grandchildren can still benefit. Generational wealth protected forever. Charitable remainder trusts. You donate assets to charity, tax deduction, but you get income from those assets for life. Then the charity gets what's left. You win, charity wins, IRS loses. Asset protection trusts. Shield your wealth from lawsuits, creditors, ex-spouses. Money is protected even if you get sued. The wealthy don't own anything in their own name. Everything is in trusts, LLCs, corporations. If you sue them personally, there's nothing to take. All the assets are protected in legal structures. Offshore accounts, legal tax optimization. Now let's address the elephant in the room: offshore accounts. When people hear offshore account, they think tax evasion, money laundering, criminals. But here's the reality. Having money offshore is completely legal if you report it properly. And the wealthy do it all the time for tax optimization. Places like Switzerland, Singapore, the Cayman Islands, they have favorable tax laws, banking privacy, and asset protection. If you're a U.S. citizen, you still have to pay U.S. taxes on worldwide income, but there are legal strategies. Holding foreign investments that aren't taxed until you sell. Using offshore trusts for estate planning. Banking in jurisdictions with stronger asset protection laws. Diversifying away from the U.S. dollar and U.S. political risk. The key word is legal. The wealthy have teams of accountants making sure everything is above board. They're not hiding money, they're optimizing. How to implement these strategies, even if you're not rich yet. All right, so you don't have $10 million. You're not opening a family office. But you can still start using some of these strategies. Strategy 1. Ditch the 0.01% checking account. Move your emergency fund and savings to a high-yield savings account earning 4 to 5%. Right now, you can get these rates at online banks like Marcus, Ally, or Wealthfront. If you have $20,000 sitting in savings, that's $800 to $1,000 per year instead of $2. Free money. Strategy 2. Use a brokerage account for liquid cash. Once you have $50,000 plus, keep it in a brokerage account in a money market fund or short-term treasuries. You can transfer money instantly when needed, but it's earning 4 to 5% instead of 0%. The wealthy do this. You can too. Strategy 3. Borrow instead of selling once you have assets. Once you have $100,000 plus in investments, you can take out margin loans or securities-based loans at low interest rates. Need $10,000? Don't sell your stocks and pay capital gains tax. Borrow $10,000 at 5% interest secured by your portfolio. Your investments keep growing while you use the cash. Strategy 4. Max out tax-advantaged accounts first. The wealthy use every tax advantage available. You should too. Roth IRA. Tax-free growth forever. 401k. Tax-deferred growth. HSA. Triple tax advantage. Deductible, grows tax-free, withdrawals tax-free for medical. These are legal wealth-building tools. Use them. Strategy 5. Think in terms of assets, not income. The wealthy don't ask, "How much do I make?" They ask, "How much do I own?" Stop focusing on salary. Start focusing on building assets that generate passive income. That's how you escape the working class trap. Strategy 6. Set up basic asset protection. Once you have $250,000 plus in net worth, talk to an attorney about setting up an LLC or trust for asset protection. It's not just for billionaires. If you own rental property, have a high-income job, or have significant savings, you should be protecting it from lawsuits. The wealth gap is a knowledge gap. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the wealth gap in America isn't about intelligence or work ethic. It's about access to information. The wealthy know these strategies exist. They have advisors who implement them. They teach their kids how this stuff works. The middle class? They're told to get a job, save money in a savings account, and hope for the best. That's not a plan. That's a trap. The good news? The information is out there. The tools are available. You don't need to be a millionaire to start thinking and acting like one. You just need to know the game exists. And now you do. Look, you're probably not going to set up a family office tomorrow. You're probably not moving money offshore next week. But you can open a high-yield savings account today. You can start maxing out your Roth IRA this year. You can begin thinking about money the way wealthy people do, in terms of assets, tax optimization, and leverage. The gap between you and the wealthy isn't as big as you think. It's just information, and you just got it. If this video changed how you think about where to keep your money, hit that like button and subscribe to Wealth Context for more wealth-building strategies they don't teach you. Drop a comment. What's one thing you're going to change about how you handle money after watching this? Let's talk about it. I'll see you in the next one.